Good morning, everyone. My name is Rishiraj Das, and I'm part of Group 7, along with my teammates Shehun, Fatima, and Alexi. And for case study 2, our focus was on deriving workforce insights using data-driven business intelligence techniques. Now, I will briefly explain the objective of our analysis. The purpose of the study was to analyze workforce data from Generesta Engineering Consulting in order to identify key trends and potential organizational risks. Our analysis focused on five main areas: workforce composition and occupation distribution, employee demographics, turnover patterns and their causes, and leave of absence trends, and retirement patterns within the organization. By analyzing these data sets using business intelligence tools, our goal was to transform raw workforce data into actionable insights that can support strategic workforce planning and better decision making for the organization. For this analysis, we used two primary data sets provided in the case study: the payroll database master file and the terminated employee database master file. These datasets contain detailed information on employee demographics, occupation roles, employment statuses, leave records, and terminational categories and reasons. To analyze the data, we used Power BI as a business intelligence tool, and Power BI allowed us to import and clean the datasets, categorize turnover types such as voluntary and involuntary terminations, create demographic groups, and build visualizations to identify patterns in the workforce. These visualizations helped us highlight trends, make comparisons, and identify potential risks within the organization. Now I'll hand over the presentation to Chehun.
All right, thanks, Rishi. All right, so hi, my name is Shehun, and I'll cover up the occupation analysis and demographic analysis today. So let's start for the occupation analysis first. So the stuff that I'm going to cover today was occupation distribution, and it's based up the count of employee by occupation in the company. And there's a graph as you can see, and in this graph, I can tell the engineering roles represent the largest occupational group in the organization, and the trade workers was the second largest workforce segment in the graph, and the administrative roles such as clerks and assistants represent smaller proportion. And through this analysis, I can tell this structure indicates that the company's workforce is strongly concentrated in technical and engineering functions, reflecting the nature of the consulting industry. And for this part, I'm gonna find out about the gender distribution across occupation. So I made a chart between male and female for every each occupation. And you can see engineering roles are heavily male dominated. There was a 632 male engineers and there was only 46 female engineers. And administrative roles such as clerks, assistants show higher female representation. And through this chart, I can say the data highlights a clear gender imbalance within technical orders. Roles suggest opportunities for diversity, improvement in engineering and trade occupations. So let's go for the demographic analysis. So in here, I was looking for the employee demographic structure with the count of employee ID by gender. And there's a graph, there's a pie chart, and there's a histogram, and you can see male employees represent 73.83 the 83 percentage of the workforce, and the female employees was represent 26.17 percentage. The largest employee age group, it was between 50 to 60 olds. I can tell it's a little bit senior, and the organization has a highly experienced workforce, but the age distribution suggests potential retirement pressure in the coming year. The employee status overview was I was looking for how many employees are active and how many employees are currently on leave. And in here, there was 92.38% of employees are active and only 7.62 percentage of employees are currently on leave. And the workforce is generally stable, I can tell. And however, leave patterns must be monitored to ensure operational continuity. Now, hand it to Fatima.
Thank you. Hello, Professor. Here we have employee turnover analysis. In this section, we analyze employee turnover trends between 2007 and 2010. The data shows that in 2007 and 2008, most employees left voluntarily or through retirement, which reflects a normal workforce retirement movement. However, in 2009 and 2010, involuntary termination increased significantly. This suggests that company likely experienced organizational restructuring or layoff during those years. This analysis helps management understand how workforce change occur over time and supports better workforce planning. Next slide. Thank you. Here in this slide, we compare voluntary and involuntary employee departures. Out of 1,378 total termination, 58.6% were involuntary and 41.4% were voluntary. This indicates that most separation were driven by organizational decision rather than employee choosing to leave. This slide shows the main reason employee left the company. The most common reason was layoff with 777 employees, followed by early retirement with 427 employees and resignation with 362 employees. This result confirmed that workforce restructuring and layoff were the major driver of turnover. Thank you.
Thanks, Fatima. So now we'll be moving to the leave of absence analysis. The next slide. So moving on to detailed analysis of employee leaves, we can see that 245 employees are currently off duty, which is a significant factor for workforce planning. First, looking at the gender distribution on the right on the chart, women slightly outnumber men, representing about 53.5% of total leave. Second, the bar chart on the left highlights the long-term disability. Purple color is the dominant because of absence for both genders, affecting 78 men and 73 women. Third, we notice specific trends in other categories. While maternity leave, blue color, accounts for 35 female absences, sick leave, pink color, is actually more frequent among male employees. In conclusion, these health-related absences represent a major operational risk. To get rid of this problem, we recommend that Generous Engineering enhance its wellness programs and improves resource forecasting to ensure productivity remains stable during these periods. Now I'll pass it to Rishi.
Thank you, Alexei. Now I will discuss the retirement trend analysis. In this section, we analyze retirement data from the terminated employee dataset to understand how retirement patterns have changed over time. The graph in this slide shows retirement trends across fiscal years and between genders. One important observation is that retirement numbers steadily declined from 2007 to 2010. For example, male retirements decreased from about 120 employees in 2007 to around 73 employees in 2010, while female retirements decreased from 34 to 21 during the same period. Another observation is that the male employees consistently accounted for a higher number of retirements than female employees, which reflects the overall workforce composition where technical roles are primarily occupied by male employees. Overall, the chart suggests that retirement patterns are closely connected to the age distribution and workforce structure of the company. Looking further into retirement patterns, we examine retirement distributions by age group and years of service. The data shows that most retirements occur between the ages of 60 and 69, which aligns with traditional retirement ages. Additionally, the largest group of retirees had between 30 and 39 years of service. This indicates that employees tend to stay with the organization for long periods before retiring. While this demonstrates strong employee retention, it also suggests that when these employees retire, the company may lose a significant amount of institutional knowledge and experience. This highlights the importance of long-term workforce planning and knowledge transfer strategies. Now I'll hand back to Alexei, who will go over the major insights from the analysis.
Thanks, Rishi. So based on the overall business intelligence analysis, we identified several key workforce insights. First, the workforce is predominantly male, representing about 73% of employees, particularly in technical roles such as engineering and trades. Second, the age distribution shows that the largest employee group is between 50 and 60 years old, indicating an aging workforce and potential retirement pressure in the coming years. Third, also most employees are active. The company currently has 245 employees on the leave, with long-term disability representing the largest category of absence. Fourth, turnover patterns changed significantly between 2007 and 2010, when the organization experienced a sharp increase in involuntary termination, likely due to restructuring or layoffs. Finally, retirement trends show that employees who retire typically have decades of experience, which means the organization risks losing valuable institutional knowledge. Thanks.
And based off of these findings, we developed several strategic recommendations for the organization. First, the company should strengthen succession planning programs to ensure that knowledge from retiring employees is transferred to the younger staff. Second, improving workforce diversity in technical roles could help balance gender representation in engineering and trades occupation. Third, long-term workforce planning should be implemented to anticipate future hiring needs as the workforce ages. Fourth, the organization should invest in employee health and wellness programs to reduce long-term disability and improve overall employee well-being. And finally, implementing business intelligence dashboards to continuously monitor workforce trends can help management detect early signs of turnover or workforce instability and make proactive decisions. Using these insights, Generista Engineering can implement proactive workforce planning strategies that support long-term organizational stability and sustainability. Thanks for listening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.